Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Dork. What number is this? Where are we?
A lot.
5,000.
Let me see. I got to
remember. We're in the 330s, I think.
We are in the 330s. You're right, Dennis. And we've done 330 episodes. We want to thank all the listeners for listening to the podcast. This is episode 334 of the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, and real quick, we want to send some quick hellos to Barry and Dave and Fred and Hector, John, Justin, Matthew. These are all people that support and back Dork Trek on Patreon. Go to patreon.com, search Dork Trek, and you can get some of the wonderful things that we do here on Dork Trek, and you could just help us out because it would be nice. So thank you to Barry and Cerebral Paladin and Fred and Hector and the gang over on Patreon.
Look at me, Hector.
Yes, look at me, Hector. But yes, we're doing great, man. What's the name of the episode this week? Oh, that's right, Waltz.
Yes, Walter White.
I don't understand the title. I'm not going to lie to you.
It takes two to tango, and waltzing will kill you. I don't know.
That's that famous saying.
Yeah, waltz. We say it all the time in the 24th century.
Takes two to tango, waltz, it'll kill you.
It's because you have to watch this episode and kind of go, ba, 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 ba.
I am excited, though, as the person who puts up the episodes on the computer machine, that I don't have to type out things like fucking the ridiculous names of some of the episodes we've had recently.
Like it's an entire book.
Statistical probabilities, and they went through Deep Space Nine went through a really pretentious episode. You are cordially invited, and sacrifice of angels.
For
like, you're cordially invited could have just been called Wharf Wedding.
Yeah,
it's been so much
nice day for a
Wharf Wedding. It's a nice day to fight with Batless.
Wow! Why are we coming up with this now? Well, I got to go put this back into that episode.
My two favorite Star Trek titles of all time are the two longest titles of all time. For the World is Hollow and I Have Touched the Sky, which is an original. That's an original series. McCoy's gonna die. They find this hollow planet. Chaos.
That is a long title.
Yeah. And then, I can't remember if it's longer or not. But in the Discovery episode, the butcher's blade cares not for the lamb's cry.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
annoying.
What the fuck? You're just sitting there going, "Oh, I've got a title." Just
like the one looking for Pamak at all the wrong places, nor the battle to the strong, let he who is without sin. It's like, come on, man, into the darkness, and just give me like a waltz. Perfect. Boom. Let's go. Let's do it.
When I was a kid, I used to always get Operation Annihilate and Assignment Earth mixed up.
One had an exclamation point and one didn't.
See?
And one had a colon.
Didn't they both have a colon?
Did they? See?
I don't know.
Never know. Punctuation in titles.
See, but when you're typing
special.
When you're typing that in though to your XML, a punctuation can fuck up your whole thing.
Yeah, you've got to use an HTML entity instead of the actual character itself.
Yes, I don't know how to do that. So that's why a lot of our Star Trek the descriptions of the episodes are poorly punctuated. Because I can't go putting unnecessary commas and shit because it'll fuck up the XML and then the episode won't come out. So just a word of the wise. If people ever read this and go, "Who's writing this shit?" Say, "Well, it's got to be that way. If it be that way, then let it be." Because I can't. Yeah, I can't put no commas in there, baby.
You would think by now they would have like an entry form that would make it a lot easier to input the XML.
Sometimes I think they do, but I'm using the old school version of it, which is like I actually have to go in there and put in code, like all the code and the copy and all that bullshit. But it's still not super easy.
I can do that for you, buddy.
It's very delicate. I don't mind.
Right.
We always took the lazy way with our
WordPress, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I let the computer machine do all the work.
Do the work, computer.
That's right, computer. Do it.
Do it.
Do it slowly. Do
All right,
it.
so the whole gang is here, which is super exciting. I know people will be happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
And by people, I mean Gary in Australia. Hello, Gary in
No,
Australia.
I'm pretty sure both Garys will be.
Are there two Garys?
There are two Garys.
I thought there was only one Australian Gary.
Well, there's one Australian Gary and then one American Gary.
I did not know that.
American Gary.
And American Gary is a Patreon. So.
Oh, nice. Okay. So get with it, Australian Gary. Come on, what are you waiting for?
Well, there's all those international fees.
That's true. And I don't know what the exchange rate is.
And when we ship the episodes overseas like that, all the way to Australia,
Costs extra, yeah.
it costs.
He has to listen to them upside down. It's
Yeah.
Well, Trump put a tariff on him too.
You gotta fill out the customs forms.
He's a real dickhead. But yeah, so this episode is
We make
called
the best podcast in the world. Everybody should pay a premium for them.
Dennis. That's not a bad impersonation.
It's pretty good.
Now can we have bad Dennis Donald Trump talk to Bill Clinton? Like, let's say you guys are at a Jeffrey Epstein party.
What do you think, Bill? 14 or 15?
Nope.
She looks 14.
I won't touch that.
That's not what he said.
All right. Oh!
My finger will find out for you.
Waltz is the 11th episode of the 6th season. We don't have many of these left. 135th episode.
We could
overall.
always just start over from the beginning after DS9 is done. Just go back and watch the first season again.
Now, I mean, you can do that in your own time, Dennis, but we have to continue on. So this episode reveals what becomes of the notorious Dukat.
B.I.G.? Oh, God.
Yes.
Notorious DUKAT.
DUKATATA.
I love it when you call me Big Dukat.
So yes. So we haven't seen Dukat since his daughter got killed.
Yeah.
And so I guess they're taking him to a space station for some fucking he's not going on trial until the war is over, but
it's a war crimes pre-trial or something.
yeah, which is weird.
Yeah. That's the Federation. They're all about that legal shit.
You think they would try to interrogate him to try to get as much information out of him as they can, but maybe that's what this is. But
he's crazy.
Yeah, but still, you can still get information out of someone who cray.
Is it usable though?
I mean, you never know. It's worth a try.
Waterboarding crazies doesn't usually work because they talk to their dead daughters and shit, and it's not good.
He's talking to everybody in this episode.
Yeah.
Are Cardassians amphibious? Because waterboarding might not even work.
I don't think they're amphibious.
Everybody got to breathe.
They're
breathe water.
You can find something. You can something board everybody.
Something board.
Everybody's got something.
We'll something board you.
We'll find the thing that's going to board you, and then
we'll sandboard you.
They could just bore you, perhaps.
Hit you with a 2x4.
What was the thing back in the witch trials or whatever?
Yeah, they tried to sing.
Drowning?
No, there was that. But then they would put they'd put a heavy board on you, and then they just stack rocks on it.
Yeah, and if you wait, I think
is that after they weigh you against the weight of a duck to see if you're...
No, this is the alternate. This was they would press you. They put all the rocks and stuff on the thing on top of you, and it would squish you. And either it would squish the devil out of you, or you'd confess, or you just kind of died like a normal person.
To be fair, it's not terrible logic. I mean,
if you die, you're good. If you live, you're a witch.
Yep. If you died, then it was a tragic mistake, and you were given a good Christian funeral.
But you could be.
Whoops. Sorry.
Ooh.
But you're probably going to hell anyway because we suspected you of something for a reason.
But that's just rumors and hearsay, Jack.
So we see the Honshu in this episode.
Honshu.
It's one of them Nebula style ships.
The USS Honshu. We don't see much of the Honshu because it gets blown out of the sky.
Boom. I couldn't tell. It looked like this was the same model that was used for the ship that rescued them off of the planet in Star Trek First Contact? Not First Contact.
Generations?
Generations. Yeah, because when the Enterprise crashed at the end of the episode, there was
when Troy crashed it.
You're writing that shit right into the planet, baby. That was
around the planet.
That was a cool sequence, though. Like when it crashed into the planet, that was pretty neat.
So I think that was because that model's been altered a couple of times for the different ships, but I think they used the movie one for this.
Yeah, I can't see that without thinking about Wrath of Khan.
Oh, so like a Reliant style, Miranda class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always my favorite ship.
I don't know if they're the same class of vehicles, but they always kind of remind me of Wrath of Khan anytime I see that style of ship, and I'm just like, Wrath of Khan, that's awesome.
Well, what they based it on was the Air Force. The Air Force, was it AWACS?
Yeah.
With the big dish on top. Because the first episode we saw that style ship in was with was it the Phoenix, in the episode where O'Brien's old captain was on the Cardassian border and he went a little batshit and he was like
stuck.
That's when we learned that O'Brien is a war hero.
Yeah, O'Brien's a war hero. Ben froze. Ben?
Oh no!
No, there he is.
He's back.
He's back. He's back.
Oh yeah, apparently if I do the hand thing, it causes too much.
You broke it.
Yeah, I can't put that on.
Yeah, Brian's a war hero, but he doesn't like to talk about that anymore, which is weird because he went from war hero to being a coward.
I don't think he was a coward.
He's a coward. And now he's a whiny coward who gets, I can't believe they make me sleep on that hard bed. This sucks. Rations are terrible.
Just because you're a war hero doesn't mean you have to sleep on a hard, cold floor.
Plus, he's a Starfleet war hero. Like, whatever the Air
I think he's a war hero for marrying Keiko.
Yeah. That's a war that never ends until he's dead.
I mean, that could go either way, though. Who says O'Brien's a picnic?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Julian likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have married each other. That's the problem.
But that's because he didn't have to live with him, probably.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. If they were married, then the magic would be lost.
O'Brien's always leaving dirty dishes on the counter and not putting them in the sink or rinsing them first.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Leaving his socks laying around.
Yeah.
And he's got a small Irish
socks with his curly hair stuck in the socks.
Yeah.
I think the worst thing would be that he would like get the dinner dishes and then put them in the replicator, but then not let it process the dishes back. They'd just be like stacked in the replicator, and all you have to do is go computer, recycle or whatever.
Why can't the computer do that automatically?
Because it doesn't want to take your hand. I don't know.
But don't have AI, like it can't sense that your hands are inside the replicator.
Well, I don't think you want like your replicator to get too smart.
I do.
Because then you're looking at Skynet, baby. Then they're gonna make robots to kill you, Jack.
Didn't you watch the second season of Discovery?
Didn't you see Terminator, bro?
As long as you don't put that sphere intelligence in there, you're fine.
I don't know.
But the sphere intelligence is not V'ger. Not the same.
No.
Which would be cool if it was, but it's not.
Same concept.
Same idea.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of that shit flying around in the universe.
Which now that has been reopened in my brain kind of makes season 2 of Discovery like, oh yeah, V'ger. Which was still great, but now it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time with V'ger, it's like, oh yeah, the changeling. I am Nomad. Oh yeah. Jackson.
To be fair, there's a lot of weird space probes that come up. The whatchamacallit one.
The whale probe?
The whale probe one. But the TNG episode.
The TNG episode, yeah.
With the weird guy and Data talking to that stupid thing.
That doesn't really narrow it down a whole lot.
Yeah, to be fair, Dennis,
exactly.
you just described...
My point is made.
That's all the fourth season.
Yeah, you just described like 45 episodes of TNG. Data and the weird guy talking to shit.
No, that was Tin Man.
Tin Man. Yeah, that you know what I was talking about.
I did.
Tin Man. But there are other episodes almost exactly like that.
Yeah. Well, that's where this episode, I think, kind of falls into those trappings because you have two people stuck on a desolate planet together, and you're trying to figure out one of their motives. We've seen this a lot. Like this is the tropey Star Trek version of the Twilight Zone, where somebody wakes up and everybody's gone. Like that's like half the Twilight Zone episodes. You wake up and you're the only person left on Earth.
I initially kind of thought it was like there was this old Tony Curtis movie where he was a prisoner, and it was the white prisoner and the black prisoner.
Yeah, was it Sidney Poitier?
I believe it was. Yeah,
I just like saying his name.
Poitier.
Clearly.
But and so obviously the white guy's racist, and the black guy doesn't like the white guy either.
How do you think Sidney Poitier got away with saying like, no, that my name is Poitier? Like, no, motherfucker, that shit's Porter. Like, no, it's Poitier.
Because it's French, and French makes it okay.
No, but I'm just.
That's how good he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sidney Porter, excuse me, my name is Poitier. Get the fuck out of here,
motherfucker. That's not your water fountain.
It's Portier. Portier. I don't know.
Boy, your name's Porter.
No, it's Poitier. Word, you got like that.
Whoa.
Dennis, I gotta edit that out.
It's the 60s, not the 1860s. Jesus.
Sidney Poitier. Oh, he's from the Bahamas. I didn't know that. I love Sidney Poitier. And again, what a name. And he's 92 years old, Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
Jesus.
He's a American.
He's 92 years old.
Bahamian treasure. Bahamian.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, but that's the film you're talking about where he's tied to Tony Curtis.
So there's either that one or, I mean, and that trope has been redone a couple. So I thought it was going to go that direction at first, and then Sisko and Dukat would learn a little bit about each other.
Nah,
it kind of starts that way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Dukat's being all super nice to him.
Like, oh, we crashed and I fixed your arm.
Yeah. And did you not was that the whole transmitter thing, was that not suspect from like the like, oh yeah, I sent out the signal, should be any time now.
Well, I thought it would have been cool if they had gone down that line of we'll see who gets here first.
Yeah, that was a cool angle at first. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
And then I kept looking at fucking Sisko's goddamn Tin Man arm from fucking Wizard of Oz, and I would chuckle every time I saw it because like that's the best cast we can come up with.
That was the C-3PO arm.
Yeah. And it's the 24th century. The best you can do is this giant metal cast. Looks like they made it out of that popcorn wrapper stuff that you put on your oven.
Well, see, normally you wouldn't even have that though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's like, oh shit, emergency, field medic shit.
Well, they explained it away because,
you want to use the bone replicator.
The bone replicator.
I need a bone replicator.
That's who Spider-Man was supposed to fight in the first Spider-Man movie, but they were like, no, bone saw.
Bone replicator. Not as tough sounding.
No. You're going nowhere.
But yeah, so they're kind of stranded here, and you gotta. But I mean, the thing is, you gotta know something's up with Gold Dukat because it's Gold Dukat, and that's just the nature of the beast,
He's always up to something.
Honestly, it kind of like I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have. So,
that's a really honest assessment of this episode.
When Wei Yun showed up and was talking to him, I was like, oh shit, he's tricking Sisko. Like the Dominion are there and they're trying to get something out of Sisko. I didn't know what. And then I realized, oh fuck, he's hallucinating. Like it didn't dawn on me instantly that
See,
I went through the exact same thing.
It went from the Tony Curtis, Sidney Poitier movie to the James Garner D-Day movie where he's got the plans for D-Day and the Nazis want those plans. They need to know what day it is. And then he gets captured. But to trick him, they set up this whole hospital and stuff. It's like, oh, you slept through D-Day because you got hit. But, wow, it was crazy. Don't you remember that day? What day was that? Where did we invade and win the war? So I thought the same thing. It's like, oh, so this is all a big.
Okay, so I wasn't paying.
No, I think they did it that way on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was written that way specifically.
It's like, how the fuck did Wei-Un get here? God damn it! Now they're shifting tropes on me.
And then you don't realize that it's not really Wei-Un until like he shoots him because he goes to like blast him and then he's just shooting the wall and you go, oh, he's just crazy.
He's bad.
He going cray.
So this is like that Riker episode where I'm not crazy,
Except he is.
except he's really crazy.
It's like, how'd your wife? How'd your kids? How'd you wayoons?
And that's one of my favorite Riker
I
episodes.
just need to know if he respects me.
Yeah, will he respect me in the morning if I put out tonight?
Nope.
And the answer is no.
Come on, Cisco, just fuck my cloaca.
Just put your balls on my spoon.
They'll fit inside, I promise.
Yeah. Oh, there's a cat. Jenny's been obstructed by a cat's ass.
Get out. Get out.
But yeah, so this episode is kind of all over the place, but I think that makes it more interesting because then it becomes less of like two people stranded on this desolate planet. But no, now one of them is fucking nuts and he's looking for like vindication or respect from Sisko that he's not really a bad person.
I just need that validation.
Yeah, it's really odd.
It's cool because like Dukat obviously respects Sisko. Like
Yes.
he thinks if he wants to believe that if we were in each other's shoes, we would do exactly the same thing. But
Because
Sisko's not a murderous. I mean, he is kind of murderous sometimes, but
oh yeah, no, see, don't
he's not a
sleep.
genocidal maniac.
No, don't sleep. Cisco did take the fucking atmosphere off that planet and made all those people leave. He ain't fucking around.
Yeah.
He didn't kill the people outright.
Yeah, he gave him a chance to escape.
Yes,
And
now
there weren't millions.
But Ben, I think at some point though you're splitting
And they were
hairs
dirty,
because-
rotten Maquis. Fuck them anyway.
I mean, if you're putting down, a base versus if you're putting down a planet, there's a touch.
But it was kind of funny that they were trying to contrast, like, oh, Sisko is this virtuous Starfleet officer. You could never be like him, Dukat. It's like, well, Sisko played in the gray a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
The ends justified the means a lot with Sisko.
Dukat wasn't though in the gray. I mean,
He was just
From his
evil.
perspective, he was. He was like, I could have been a lot harder on these Bajoran motherfuckers.
Compared to the other Cardassians, he was like not as evil.
Yeah.
So to him, it's like, oh, I wasn't that bad.
they wanted to be much harsher, but I said no. Increase the food rations.
Make them healthier, so when I kill them, it'll be more fun for me. They'll put up a better fight.
Yes.
Their work output will go up by 50% if we feed them 20% more.
And then, while he's hallucinating, he sees his ex-officer, which I thought was the guy who kills his daughter, which I thought was weird because, like, if he is in this, like, because instantly when he sees Kira later in the episode, he goes into, like, their relationship is adversarial instantly, and, like, he's agitated by her. But this guy killed his daughter, and they still have like a very kind of cordial back and forth. I thought
the Damar hallucination is totally kissing his ass, while Hero one is just laughing in his face, trying to antagonize him.
But I also think it's kind of weird that it was Damar because Damar kills his daughter, which kind of set this whole fucking,
But he might have like cognitive dissonance about that. Like it just doesn't connect in his mind that Damar is the one that killed her. Like he may be thinking, if it wasn't these fucking Bajorans, it's their fault that my mother died.
Kind of displacing the blame because he doesn't want to blame
they
his
made
friend.
Damar kill her.
But what I'm saying is like
if they had brainwashed her into thinking those crazy Bajoran thoughts, Damar wouldn't have had to have killed her.
Yeah.
Well, if he wouldn't have fucked a Bajoran lady, making a half Bajoran, half Cardassian kid who was able to be brainwashed by. So I mean, this all goes back to being Dukat's fault at the end of the day.
No, it's the Bajorans. if their planet hadn't fallen so easily,
If she wasn't so sexy, I wouldn't have had sex with her in the first place.
Jesus.
It's her fault.
All right, Dennis. You're
Dukat.
Hey, you know what? He was a young officer with a bright future ahead of him.
A young concentration camp commander. What's he
It
supposed
was
to
Beach
do?
Week. It was crazy.
You don't want
Tweak
to
on
have
Pedro.
20 minutes ruin a future for such a promising officer. So we'll let it, just let that go.
Yeah, Dukat was just at Peabody's, and what's he supposed to do?
That's you're going to have to make that more of a universal reference.
There is no universal reference for that. Every town has a Peabody's.
Now, what is Peabody's? Explain.
Peabody's is the 18 and up club on the Virginia Beach oceanfront.
Okay, what happens
where
there?
all the young people go for their first
Nothing good
experience in
happens
nightlife.
That's not true. I met
And
my
all the
wife
older-
there.
Oh, okay. Take it back.
So the one good thing that happened at Peabody.
See, and I actually like Stephanie, so I can't joke.
Yeah, I met my wife there. But yeah, so yeah, it's just one of those weird things, man, where he's going nuts and he just wants that like that. He just wants somebody to tell him, especially Sisko, that he did a good job, that he's a good person, that he wasn't this evil bastard that everyone makes him out to be. Somewhere in my brain, I'm picturing Donald Trump having this conversation with someone, and all of a sudden, yeah, just
Melania, and she's like, "Oh, I don't speak no English."
But I can just picture Trump saying these same things to somebody, and they're just like, and they're quickly trying to make a tool out of a fork so they can leave.
Like
I have
Chuck
to disagree
Schumer.
with you, though. Like, Gul Dukat is way more eloquent than Donald Trump could ever imagine to be.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, yeah.
This is like Trump
Fair
and
enough.
Chuck Schumer stuck on an island.
I will give you that. He is a lot more eloquent and well-spoken than Donald Trump.
And there's no way Trump doesn't believe that everybody loves him, you know.
It's true. Like, he would just imagine all of the people that he knows. They're just like, "You're a good guy."
Even the haters really
going.
love him deep down. They just love him so much they have to act like that.
Bajoran unemployment was its lowest ever under Dukat.
I love that one.
It took so much longer for them to die in the work camps.
Yeah, he actually says that.
Yeah.
It's really, really hilarious. The death rate in the death camps went down 20%. You can't make that argument when the title of it is called Death Camp.
Yeah.
like that, the argument is thrown out the window at that point.
I've had an argument on another show about
You've done other shows, you whore.
if Dukat was evil or not, and
He's evil.
This is one of the episodes that I go to where it's like, look, the dude is, when he finally has his meltdown.
But to be fair, he is fucking insane in this episode.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I know exactly which episode you're talking about, Ben. And I was actually, as I was watching it, I was thinking of that discussion that you had. And I was like, I bet this is the one. Because he's like outlining all of the evil shit that he did. He was like, but I had to do this because blah, 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 blah. I had to kill all those people. They made me do it.
So I do all this great stuff for him, and on my 1 month anniversary as the leader of the planet, they blow up the shipyard and kill 200 Cardassians.
So of course I had to kill 200 people.
Yeah, just an eye for an eye.
Yes.
That's how they know.
It's not because I'm evil. It's because I'm fair.
Mm-hmm. It's justice.
200 of mine, 200 of theirs. Fair.
Yeah. Other Cardassians, that would have been 2,000 dead Bajorans. Easy.
Yeah, because obviously it's a 1-to-10 ratio on the quality of life.
Yeah, but then you know what? You can say that and like, okay, maybe not. But then once he starts mentioning that the Cardassians are the superior race, and you're like, whoa! As soon as you throw that part in, and then you go like, all right, this guy's batshit crazy. Like, he's evil, he's genocidal, he's a maniac, and that's where the evil comes in.
100 years more advanced.
1,000. He said 1,000.
I thought he said 100.
I thought it was 1,000, but it was a lot.
Either way, yeah.
We didn't want to be the superior race.
Like, whoa,
We're just better.
Yeah.
It's our obligation to help all these other
Why
races
can't they understand
at our
that?
level.
I guess if we weren't so superior, they would have understood.
If they weren't so fucking stupid with their dumb earrings and their ugly fucking bumpy noses, it's like,
Oh my God. I got so uncomfortable.
yeah. Like this was a Twitter feed. This was a Twitter thread that you're reading and you're going, holy shit, this guy, he's saying all this out loud?
Ooh, he's getting
Time to delete
ratioed
your
hard.
This is the drunk uncle at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally pops a gasket, and you're just like, oh, shit.
Fuck, dude. And then he just keeps going. I hate them all.
Uncle Billy Ben married a Bajoran. I don't care. She knows it's true.
Look at her stupid, ugly nose and that damn earring. But when he did say the earring, I was like, yeah, all right, I see that. The earring's annoying. The earring kind of sucks, but whatever. Praying to their stupid gods and being all dumb. I wanted to kill every one of them. I did. And then he just flat out says it. And like as he's saying, he should have killed every planet and made the planet a graveyard the likes which has never been seen. He's almost orgasming. Like yes. Like, he
probably has. He probably gets like stroked off to this many times.
He may have crossed the line there.
So that's the thing though, is that he has had to hold that. He's had to have this veneer of civility.
Yes.
For all these years, and then to finally just let out his true feelings, it is almost like an orgasmic experience.
God, I've never been so hard. Bring me a bottle of Kanar and many Orion slave girls who are far less superior than I am.
With no bumpy noses.
No fucking earrings.
If they have earrings, they better have them on both ears.
Yeah, he's a maniac.
Yeah.
Space Hitler.
Yeah, Space Hitler, total Space Hitler. And as he's saying this awesome shit in his brain, he gets whacked by a fucking metal pole. Thunk.
Well, it's the same one that he used to beat the shit out of Sisko with.
Yeah, well, we did kind of skip around a little bit because, like, Sisko realizes that the transmitter is not online because there's a giant fucking sign on it that says not online, not online, not online. And
Out of order.
Kudos to Dukat for jerry-rigging that thing to make it seem like it was working.
Yeah.
See, and I love
it's Federation technology. Who knows can he even read English?
Yeah. I'm sure he can.
Why?
Because the Federation is everywhere.
Because he's the superior race, Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis.
They know everything.
So oh, okay. You got me there.
I can tell you're not a member of a superior race, Dennis. Oh my God, I didn't mean that. I meant space race.
Tread lightly, Bob. You are German.
Ben left. Ben, you can come back now.
Ben's calling the Anti-Defamation League.
Ben, you can come back now.
I had to go to my safe space.
It's fucking snowflake.
I don't think though for the Patreons though that I guess get to see the video.
Yeah, it is funny.
That's not the best image though to throw up.
But it's funny because I felt like it was just glaring at me, like saying, "Bob, that's not appropriate."
Maybe I should just do that. I mean, instead of like me doing reaction shots, I'll just keep my finger on the video trigger whenever somebody says something improper. I just
nobody's ever going to see your face, Ben.
Now. That's the inappropriation. Now.
Just change your name to inappropriate so that it comes up.
I don't think that's appropriate.
I wish I had the courage to keep that look full time.
With the mustache, I don't see why you don't.
With just the mustache and.
Well, I mean, like that's like a bear thing, right? You could totally be hot and gay with the sweet stash, right? Like that's like a fantasy for many young.
I've had that mentioned a couple of times.
All those words came out so foreign sounding to me. Like I'm saying this right? They're tweaks.
Twigs.
You gotta use quotes. Twinks.
Cubs, twinks.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine if you stroll up in the gay bar with that sweet stash, dude, you're getting a lot of dick that night, bro. Right? Am I right? Or is that not a true?
It's like all you can eat buffet.
All you can dick buffet.
Show us the stash, Ben. Show the inappropriate stash.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Inappropriate. I will say that is a really good mustache.
I know. I don't know if I could ever get it back to that state again.
If you wore glasses, that would be a really good Ned Flanders Halloween costume.
I was going to do that one year.
Oakley dokley.
Shut up, Flanders.
Now I've got to get the beard back for the job. So.
What job?
Hmm.
Why do you need a beard to have a job? I don't understand.
No, for the Riker position.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah. But yeah, he goes through these weird conversations. We skipped ahead a lot. We were kind of all over the place.
I liked, though, how the test that Sisko did when he found out the transmitter was offline, but the offline thing was behind a closed panel.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, maybe he didn't see, because he doesn't know Federation technology. Maybe he didn't know it was offline. And so he, does the whole. Something's going on.
Jenny said a really fun. Said your mustache idol is ravishing Rick Rude. Which, if you don't know what he looks like, you can Google it. I'll share it with you.
No, I just saw
I love that you had quick access to the Ops trading card of Ravishing Rick Rude.
I mean, Ravishing Rick Rude did have a pretty great mustache.
Yeah.
He had a great body, too. Look at that.
Oh, that's a lot of steroids. But yeah, no, Rick Rude was amazing.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Roided up.
He was a great wrestler, too. Ravishing Rick Rude. All of our moms at some point wanted to do Ravishing Rick Rude, and probably would have if they had.
And the dads too.
Yeah, maybe like half the dads.
Yeah.
No, my mustache hero was always
Magnum PI.
Magnum PI, absolutely.
It's kind of the same family of mustache.
It is. It's similar in vein. I think Rick Rude had his mustache because of Magnum PI.
I think everybody in the early 80s had their mustache because of Magnum PI.
Look at
down. What a great theme song.
Yeah. What a great show.
I'm so glad they kept it for the new series.
Well, you like the new series, right, Ben?
I love the new series.
Is it still on TV?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, summer, so I guess I don't know.
Well, no, it's fall now.
It should be coming back.
Yeah, it's back.
It should be coming back. See, I got busy over the summer, so I don't know what shows got canceled and what didn't. It should have got canceled. I mean, good God, why 5-0 still on? So
they had it's an Asian guy who's playing.
He doesn't have a mustache though.
Yeah.
No, he's kind of got like a light goatee, like the stubble goatee going.
The goatee's not a mustache.
Yeah. There's an episode where he's shaving, and he leaves the mustache, and he looks, and he's like
shaving his pubes.
Oh, looks good.
You think he had the same like mustache like over his balls?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Without a doubt.
Mustache?
Yeah.
The Magnum, of course he did.
Oh yeah.
Shaving the ball stash.
Shaving balls.
That mental image is like the funniest thing. The funniest thing that's happened to me all week.
You can wax it, like give it some little flair on the ends.
Mm-hmm.
Ben's
The barred ball stash.
Ball stash.
My sack stash.
Yipper dipper. But yeah, so where are we? So yeah, so Sisko finds out that it's not transmitting, but then like Ben was saying before he was interrupted.
Like eventually Sisko gets it working, and they try to trick us because they're on a Defiant looking for them after this attack, but they only have a limited amount of time
because they have to have 30,000 troops.
Yeah, coming out of the Badlands.
This is the first time I've ever heard the word Starfleet troops. It sounded so weird.
Did they fight ground battles?
Yeah.
Why?
You'll see.
Just blow them from space.
It just sounded weird. Like it rattled around in my head strangely. Starfleet troops.
Well, we saw that on the episode with Jake.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fat Man?
No, Jason was here when they went to that colony, and the Klingons were overrunning the position, and they had the grizzled old Master Chief or whatever.
Yeah.
So we've seen the ground forces in the past.
Yeah, but it just I don't know.
But those were more colonists, weren't they?
No, that was Starfleet. Those are Starfleet troops.
Oh, really?
It just still sounds weird. The word Starfleet and troops together.
I thought they're not supposed to be military.
They're not.
Well, they are now because
of scientists, Dennis. God.
Yeah,
scientist troop.
It's a theater troop, Dennis.
Oh, okay.
A Girl Scout troop.
Yeah.
Touche.
Theater
Bringing
troop.
cookies.
Theater troop. They
Hey,
bring.
Dominion, you want some Thin Mints?
And now we present Death of a Salesman.
You act with honor.
And now we act to the death.
But I don't wanna.
I would say Starfleet has to have the advantage if they're going to go into an act battle.
Oh yeah.
Their training is.
I mean, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think we've. That's the one thing. Well, that's not the one thing, but that is the one thing I do like about Deep Space Nine is like every other episode, there's not like a play or some fucking asshole playing violin
recital.
There was though.
Data, you're too perfect. All right, we get it. He's a robot.
There was the guitar player or whatever it was.
Yeah, but there's not time for that shit on Deep Space Nine.
When they bring it in, they bring in the fucking Klingon restaurateur singing Klingon operas, and it's awesome.
Yeah, there's just not some asshole like, okay, it's time for the fucking string quartet to play for the officers. Oh, bunch of hoity-toity dickbags.
Like, nah, we got Dabo D's.
We got fucking people to kill.
Got a war going on here.
Yeah, we're in the shit here, bro. We're not fucking the goddamn flying Hilton.
I always thought it was
Data, that was very good, buddy. That was a good sonata.
Like you never hear the word sonata on Deep Space Nine.
If you're looking for sonatas, don't watch Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why people didn't like it. Like, if there's just it's not cultured enough.
This is not your older brother's Star Trek.
Not even one stanza of Beethoven.
I don't think these people are cultured at all.
1 star.
Now, I don't know, because I can't speak because I haven't seen enough of it, but do they have that shit on Voyager? Because I know fucking the stupid doctor be singing all the time. And he has concerts and stuff like a dick.
I love some opera.
I'm telling you, man.
I think they just have a lot of holodeck bullshit, right?
Season 6 is the worst episode of Star Trek I've ever seen, where the fucking hologram dude is a superstar on like some weird math planet. I can't stress how bad this episode is. Like,
I cannot wait.
It's just, oh my god, it sucks.
One of my favorites.
It sounds just so horrible that I'm really looking forward to it now.
It's really bad.
Yeah, the Doctor's one of my favorite characters on that show.
The Doctor is okay. Isn't there an episode where like
at least he's not Neelix.
Yeah, Neelix sucks more than anybody.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Neelix may be the worst character in the history of Star Trek. Like, I'm not even afraid to say it. But isn't there an episode of Voyager, Ben, where it's on the holodeck and we're watching an episode about the hologram's family?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Family Ties.
It's unnecessarily dark.
Yeah. But none of it's real.
Yeah. Right. But it was to teach him he's trying to learn something from it.
Stupid.
It is.
And at the end,
he learns that Voyager's dumb.
I mean, at the end, all we learn is we can turn all this off by unplugging all of this, and it all goes away.
I think you guys
that would have been awesome if that's what they did. Whining about his dead daughter. It's like, it's not real. All right, let's just reprogram it.
The episode ends because somebody turns off the light switch. And, oh, shit, we turned it all off.
Computer, reboot emergency medical hologram.
Well, that happens at one point.
Yeah.
I'm sure it happened several times in the 7 years.
Well, no, I'm saying though,
when he sees something he wasn't supposed to see, oh shit!
Reboot.
There was an episode where I guess his matrix breaks down.
The Matrix.
He basically all the person that he'd had to that point is lost, and so he basically reboots to like
Reboot.
bare metal EMH, and has to do all that growth again.
Reboot.
Thump.
So
Like
yeah, so the episode.
Come on, doctor. That's not how I like to have my prostate checked.
Do it right.
I gotta teach you all this bullshit again.
Do it right.
The journey's the fun.
It's like a whole new doctor.
I didn't like the fake out with when they we found a beacon, sir.
Yeah, and they beam it up in these
two life forms.
Yeah, but I just felt bad for those two people because no one was happy to see them.
They're like, oh, hey, we saved you. They were clearly disappointed.
Yeah, everybody was. They're like, oh, it's just you send him back. Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, you're not Dukat. Like, wait a second, man.
I mean, do you want me to kill a bunch of Bajorans? Because I'll fucking do it right now if that'll make you happy.
Starting with you, Kira.
I've never felt more bad for two Star Trek characters before in my whole life because they're just sitting there. Like, one's got a shitty fucking arm and a sling, and the other one's like fucking rubbing it with a magic light. You're like, what? What? Sorry, we're not the captain.
Yeah.
We all play
right.
You're not Sisko and Dukat.
We all play important roles in Starfleet, bro. Okay.
Send them back.
I don't like your hairstyle.
It's just two women.
Now, Garrick.
Yeah, and then we get back on the planet and they're fucking fighting. And I will say, for a guy who had his arm broken, a weird cast, Sisko is kind of kicking the shit out of Dukat.
But he's consistent about his broke-ass arm, too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh!
Yeah. He's selling
Whenever he rolls around on it.
Yeah, he's selling it.
Of course. Avery Brooks. What do you expect?
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was really happy that we got some just top-notch quality, crazy-ass Sisko in this episode. Like, he met Crazy with Crazy. I mean, his voice was ramping up, like, every sentence.
And you wanted to kill them all. Yeah, it was good. And I like it when the Cardassian's hair gets out of.
Yeah, when he starts wrestling, it's like.
Yeah, like because it's not slicked back anymore, so it
looks like an iguana.
Yeah, it's really fun.
He just spits at his face.
Yeah.
But then he kind of like they're fighting and like then eventually
pulled the old Dennis Nedry on him.
Yeah. They're fighting and having a good time, and he tells them straight out, Dukat's like, I'm gonna fucking destroy your plan, this stupid planet invasion. I'm gonna kill them all now. You've given me a mission. I'm gonna fucking kill all these people. And it's just kind of left at that. Like Dave, he flies away and leaves Sisko on the planet, but then he tells Defiant where they are, where to find them.
Yep.
Which is very evil, calculated. He wants Sisko to be alive so he can see him destroy Bajor. That's what I took from that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have killed him before he left.
Or just left him and never said anything.
Yeah. He wants Sisko to be alive so he can destroy Bajor in front of Sisko. That's some evil shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you kind of know where
him a genocide cuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sisko, you gotta watch me do this.
But now we kind of have a whole nother, I guess, arc here because we have like this kind of takes the place of Pennington or whatever his name was now. If that Eddington, if that kind of makes sense. Like before there was like the evil guys, which is the Dominion, and now you have this other like personal side evil almost for Sisko, right? Or am I kind of understating?
Well, it's also going back for Dukat because there was a minute there where he was just roaming around as a renegade.
Yeah.
like hunting down people to kill.
Because when he got the Klingon ship that time.
Yeah. And now he's basically going to be doing the same thing, trying to kill all the Bajorans.
Yeah, but there's a difference between trying to kill like just random Dominion people here and there than trying to fucking blow up an entire planet, which sounds like was what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before it was like kind of simple, like almost piracy. Like he's going to go out there, he's going to fucking blow up a couple ships. Now he's just talking strictly about wiping Bajor and all of its people off the face of the galaxy. So
show up with a Death Star. Like, what the fuck?
I didn't know Bajor had a moon that size.
That's no moon.
No moon.
It's gonna have like a weird neck thing on it.
Oh.
But yeah, so now we kind of see how I guess this is gonna play out for Dukat for the rest of the series.
He's just a crazy machine.
He's just a crazy genocidal maniac.
So there's less than 30 episodes of DS9 left.
Yeah, something like that. Because this is episode 11 of season. So yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or just over 30, because there'll be 26 next season, and then
15 more. So like 41 episodes, something like that. 40.
Bonkers.
I know the Dukat story arc, so I'm like, God damn, they fit all that into 40 episodes?
Yeah.
So we're like ready to get into some real quality shit for the last season.
I mean,
We've already been in the middle of a lot of.
I was gonna say not that what we've been watching hasn't been great, but sounds like there's a lot of shit that's about to happen.
It's amazing that this show has never lost its way. Like every show eventually kind of loses its way and then has to regain its footing at some point. Because even
this is getting better.
Battlestar Galactica kind of got a little loopy there in the middle, and maybe towards the end a little bit too.
TNG did
like 4.5 seasons. Yeah, TNG does. Like every show eventually kind of loses its way, but this show, they decided in the second season this is what this show is going to be, and they just fucking went all the way into it.
I think one of the things that they were able to do that, the production staff. I mean, with like Rondi Moore and Ira Bear and
Michael Piller.
So you've got these, but the studio side of the execs that come from TNG pretty much ignored this show once Voyager came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just like, oh yeah, you're doing your little syndicated thing. Yeah. Did you get the ratings this week? Okay, good. All right, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out which hairstyle Janeway needs to use this week. But you guys do your own, your own.
Do you think that was like to their benefit then?
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'd say so, because they got to kind of do what they wanted to do.
Yeah. Because that was one of the things Ronald D. Moore, though. I mean, he pretty much came up with the concept of the serialization stuff. I mean, TV didn't do that in the 90s like it does now. And he kept pushing for it, and, Ira was all for it, and everybody jumped into it. I mean, I'm sure he would have done. I mean, the fact that they had, 4 episodes? Like the last 2 of last season and the first 2 of this season were just one story through, 4 episodes.
Yeah.
That was unheard of. And then the consequences and stuff. And then, what was it, earlier this season, or was it late last season when Kern came back and we, have to wrap up his story, and then Worf, his story continues, and then Alexander comes back and it becomes recurring. I mean, it's crazy, all of the stuff that they've got juggling in this thing. And I think it proved to the networks, at least, the studios, that, oh, wow, the audiences will keep up with this. But it was also, with it being the first, we as an audience were not ready for that. We hadn't trained ourselves to watch TV in that fashion. And I think and we've discussed this before, but I think a big part of why DS9 is becoming famous again or popular again is Netflix, is streaming, where you can sit and you can watch that story arc unfold over like a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
And, you can watch 6 episodes and be like, oh shit,
Mm-hmm.
You can do it on your own schedule as opposed to hoping that the next episode comes on at a time that you're not going to miss it.
Yeah. So we've moved away from episodic television and gone into this, story arc television. And this was one of the groundbreakers. And it's hard for us to look back now, though, and because we're so used to it and we see them doing it, it's just like, oh, they should have got at least 2 more episodes with that. But at the end of the day, it was like, well, no, when they were doing it, this was unheard of,
Yeah.
So mad props to the production team on this.
Mad, that's Ben said it better than anyone imaginable. Mad props indeed.
I think you got to push up your glasses when you say that next time. Mad props to the production.
All right, so Ben, since we'll just keep you going, what do you give the episode, my friend?
I really enjoyed this episode, so I'm going to give it an 8.
All right, 8. Dennis?
I think it's like a 7. It's pretty good. I like it when they're being all crazy like that.
Jen?
Yeah, I really like this one. I've said it before, but it's like when there's 2 people in a situation like this and you kind of like, you have kind of more character development more than action. It's like my favorite types of stories. So I'm going to give it a 7.5.
I'm going to agree with Jenny, and I'm going to give it a 7.5 as well. I think this is a really great episode. I really enjoyed it. It's an A story. That's just the A story. And at some point you would think, you'd go, man, this is starting to drag on me, but it just didn't. It was really great.
It helps when they bring in different hallucinations.
Yeah.
Well, see, the other thing I just thought about, one of the things we complained with TNG is how many times they said, oh, there's something going on at the Romulan border. And we, throughout the whole episode, were talking about, oh man, that's the episode I wanted to watch, was what was going on where they were supposed to be going to, not this, base building that we were actually ended up with. Well, this episode, there was that thing going on over there, and you don't even think anything of it. It's like, yeah, there's the 30,000 troops or 3,000 troops or whatever. It's like, yeah, but we gotta focus on Dukat and the captain.
At least in this, it kind of feels like you might actually see that in the next episode.
Yeah.
We'll see too. I think the cool part about this,
at the end of those TNG episodes, they're like, "Oh, it all resolved itself. Nothing happened there.
It was a joke."
Those Romulans, they got us this time.
Those sneaky Romulans. No, but I think that part of that too is the fact
it was
that
a surprise birthday.
on the surface of this planet, there's real conflict here. Like there's 2 people that are known adversaries, like banging each other's. And so you have 6 seasons of history between these 2 people. Whereas on Star Trek, most of the time it's like Beverly and the captain together. And nothing's going to jump off. Like it ain't going to get hot. If anything, they might kiss or something weird. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like, it's fucking the guy speaking in the weird voice and Picard's got to figure out what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where this is like, oh shit, something serious is going to happen here. Like there's real history. It's not just alien of the day and cast member together. Like this is 2 bona fide, A-list characters on this program,
They really haven't had a whole lot of alien of the day kind of things. Like when they first opened the wormhole, they had a couple of episodes like that where, the people who made them play that game, or the guy who was trying to sell the Tula Berry wine to Core,
the guy
who was being hunted,
the refugee people. Hey, Bajor's the promised land.
Yeah. But
don't. By the 3rd season, they're like, man, fuck that. We don't.
Yeah, they don't need any of that shit because they start a fucking war. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so now the drama is just we're at war. And if it's not about a war episode, it's like, oh, we got the Maquis out here doing Maquis shit. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's still based in conflict, whereas opposed to before, where it's like, I don't know what this alien is saying. There's a light monster that came aboard the ship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are these crystalline beings life or not?
Yeah.
Investigate.
This computer program has replicated itself. Is it sentient? I don't know. Let's spend 49 minutes talking about it in various conference rooms, buddy. You know
there's a time and a place for those kinds of stories, but
tonight's the concert, buddy. Don't forget. I have tickets front row for Data.
Who's watching Data's cat? So and TNG, and I'm not knocking TNG, but like, yeah, there's a lot of just like
they phone it in a lot.
You just love the characters so much that you don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Where Deep Space Nine is going like, we're gonna give you some serious shit.
Yeah.
You love
TNG is very comfortable to watch because like, okay, I know how Picard is going to be. I know Worf's going to try to shoot something. They'll tell him not to. And he's going to pretend like he doesn't have emotions, but he's going to have some weird fucking smile at the end of the episode. Okay, we get it. Like, there's a comfort zone with TNG.
Yeah.
But DS9 is like, it engages you for the entire episode. You have to think about what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then 25 years later, you're arguing about Space Hitler.
Yeah. And then next week we have an episode about Morn. So you're just like, wow, the show is all over the place. Like, we're dealing with Space Hitler and someone who vows to destroy Bajor off the face of the fucking galaxy. And then next week is about Morn. And you're just like, wow. And they balance the two out rather well because I've seen that Morn episode like 10 times. It's really good. Like, next week's episode's really great, but when you go, oh, it's about Morn. Who's Morn? The fucking guy who never talks, who sits at Quarks all the time. Gets his own episode, man.
Good for him.
And it's a good episode. So even Morn has a story arc that you learn about in the next episode. So if you like Morn, next week's episode is for you, my friend.
And who doesn't?
I want that painting.
Yeah.
So bad.
I feel like because I watched it a lot syndicated on Heroes and Icons, and I feel like I've seen Who Mourns Morn at least like 10 times. I don't know how, but I feel like I've seen that episode like 10 times. And it's
whenever, like, I think it was Spike used to play Voyager every day after work. And
that way, I remember
they
that.
played DS9 too.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like though I saw the same 3 episodes of Voyager at least 15 times each. Because when I would, just because it timed out that in the when I got home at a certain time and was able to turn it on, it was like, oh, it's this episode.
See, the cool part about the Heroes and Icons is it just runs every night chronologically.
Yeah.
So like, if you turn on Heroes and Icons and you're watching Deep Space Nine and it's season 3, it's going to be season 3 for at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, because it's 24 episodes. So you're going to get, a month of season 4, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but that's where it runs into the problems when you're watching Enterprise, because if you watch Enterprise season 3, episode 6, but you haven't seen episodes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you have no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but that's that, everybody. Thank you for listening to episode 334 of Dork Trek. We'll be back next week with episode 335. Who Mourns Morn?
Yeah.
Thank you.